All right, guys. Welcome to my review of the premiere episode of season 3, Rebels Step into the Shadows. Excellent episode. I was very excited for this episode. Obviously, we've been waiting for this ever since the finale of season 2, which was excellent. So I had a really good time with this episode, and we're going to break this episode down. We're going to point out the key moments of the episode and overall breakdown of the episode, and then of course I'll give my thoughts of the episode overall. So let's get started, guys. All right, so right here with this first clip right here, we obviously get to see Ezra using his new force abilities of mind control. This is something he struggled with in the first season. If you guys saw the first season, he had problems in his first couple of attempts. Obviously, he's gotten much better with it. He's controlling the driver, obviously having him attack his comrades here. Very dark right here from Ezra. As you can see, he is actually killing the troopers here. Troopers are begging the driver, and Ezra is being consistent, finishes them off, and then as an extra measure of darkness, he takes the vehicle over the platform there and gives us that wonderful look right there, where then Sabine asks, "Where did you when did Kanan teach you to do that?" And he says he didn't. Very dark clip right there. Excellent way to start the episode off. And then of course we've seen this in the trailer clip where he lets out his frustration, and of course the holocron reaches out to him. So of course early on in this particular episode, we are getting strong hints of Ezra's turn to the dark side, his need or feeling of needing additional power to protect his friends, similar to Anakin. So I thought this was also a very key point of the episode as well. This is obviously Kanan comes in to speak with Ezra, and he discovers that Ezra has been using the holocron. Of course, he displays his dissatisfaction with Ezra using the holocron. And then, of course, we again see the strained relationship between Kanan and Ezra, as at this point, Ezra becomes frustrated and gives a little talk back to his master, being a little disrespectful. And then, of course, Kanan is going to take the holocron from Ezra, and Ezra then tells Kanan that he doesn't need it, and he doesn't need Kanan as well. So again, very key point in the strained relationship between Kanan and Ezra right there. All right, so I thought this was one of the more important scenes of the episode. This is a scene where Tarkin is speaking with Governor Price in regards to the rebel and how they're becoming more of a consistent problem. One of the key points of this conversation is where Tarkin gives Vader credit for taking out the Jedi leadership. I thought that was very important. I think this is the first time that he's acknowledged that at any in any content of the universe, but I could be mistaken. If I am wrong, I'm sure somebody will correct me in the comments. But then also, this is where Governor Price petitions basically to have the 7th Fleet handed over to her. She proclaims that Admiral Constantine is more of a politician than a soldier. And then, of course, Tarkin hands her over the 7th. So right here we have the scene where Kanan meets with the Bendu. Obviously one of the more interesting new characters of the series, and of course if you watch the previews for the next episode, you'll see that he will be back So I'm excited about that. I really enjoyed this particular character. At this particular moment, he is actually giving Kanan his first lesson on how to see without seeing. Now, this to me is very, very interesting. And any of you guys who follow Urban Acolyte, I am a subscriber to Urban Acolyte, and I know he is going to hit some very key points regarding this conversation with Kanan and the Bendu, and being able to see without seeing. Giving again Kanan his first lesson. Of course, we have the character that is coming up in the Rogue One movie, who is also blind. And I think we're going to see some very, very key similarities, some very key parallels between Kanan and that particular character, and the teachings that the Bendu is going to have for Kanan. It's going to be interesting to see if this is if the Bendu is going to be a consistent character, somewhat of a consultant, maybe kind of a Yoda, if you will, for this particular series. So again, this is one of my favorite characters in the series, and I wanted to highlight him just a bit here. I thought this was a very interesting shot right here. Obviously, our first look at Kanan without the shield over his eyes. Again, we get to see the scarring across the nose, across the eyes. There is a haze over the eyes, demonstrating that he is blind, that he cannot see. we get to see the full facial beard. I just wanted to profile this a bit. Of course, this is our first look at Kanan after the injury. So this is another key point of the episode. Again, Kanan speaking with the Bendu, and dealing with actually his disconnect with the Force, and also his relation with the spiders. Another interesting point here is he has actually made some sort of contact with the spiders, where the spiders are not attacking. He is seeing the spiders for what they are. The spiders have fear as well. As we see towards the end of this particular scene, Kanan regains his connection to the Force, thus gaining his sight, so to speak, through the Force. Enter Grand Admiral Thrawn. This is a pivotal scene, obviously, because this is our introduction to Thrawn for the first time in Rebels. This is also where Admiral Constantine is surprised by Thrawn's new promotion. Thrawn explains that the Emperor has promoted him after his victory at Batuu, which is very interesting because we get a mention of the Emperor here in Rebels. Also, another interesting aspect of this particular conversation is Kallus pointing out the civilian casualties being higher than the casualties of the insurgents. We get a in-depth look at Kallus now questioning the methods of the Empire and their brute force upon the galaxy. And we're going to see how that dynamic affects the character going forward. Of course, we do have those rumors that state that Kallus is now Fulcrum for our rebels. So we'll see how that all turns out. But obviously, we do get a slight look at Kallus now focusing in on the methods that the Empire does and how it affects the civilians. So that's very interesting as well. And then, of course, again, our introduction to Admiral Thrawn, everything that we expected. He comes in being very calculating, He is already on the job. He already knows what the rebels are attempting to do. He already has a plan in place to capture the rebels. Excellent introduction to Thrawn. Everything that we were told about Thrawn and expect from Thrawn. Again, an excellent introduction to the character. All right, so another pivotal point in the episode, and another point in Ezra's steps towards the dark side here. He takes out the power to the station, knowing that it's going to send the station into a free fall, putting his friends and everyone on the station in danger. Clearly no regard for anyone, but yet taking it upon himself to do what he feels necessary to get the job done. Again, Anakin-like, doing what is necessary to get the job done, regardless of safety or life. So again, a very key moment to Ezra's further push to the dark side. So at this point, obviously things have gone out of control. Ezra has totally screwed up everything. And now he is needing Kanan to come in and rescue him after proclaiming that he didn't need Kanan. Again, another dynamic in the relationship between Master and Padawan, and also dealing with Ezra's movement towards the dark side. Very interesting that everything has come full circle, and now after again him proclaiming that he didn't need his master has come in to save the day. Again, very interesting development of the characters and their relationship, especially between Master and Padawan. So we have here the Grand Admiral Thrawn has been notified that the rebels have, as he has anticipated, or what he thought is the full fleet would show up to help assist on this particular venture with this small band of rebels. But what's come to find out, and what Thrawn has realized, because he is the master strategist, is that is not the full fleet that has shown up. So we're not going to take advantage of this just to grab these few small band of rebels. We want to catch a bigger fish is basically what Thrawn is looking for. So again, we are getting a close-up look at Thrawn and how meticulous he is with his strategies, and how he wishes to attack the rebels. He's not going to take a small victory. He would rather go for the bigger fish. So he's going to allow the rebels to walk away with their small fleet of Y-wings. My overall thoughts of the episode, I thought it was a really great episode. Obviously, we got to see how the rebels were able to gain access to the Y-wings that we will see in A New Hope, that are used to go against the Death Star. I'm sure we will get to see those Y-wings in Rogue One as well. Again, I really thoroughly enjoyed this episode. I love the development between Ezra and Kanan and their relationship, and the strains between their relationship. And we know that's going to come into deeper play as the season progresses on. And then, of course, as far as the rest of the group is concerned, we see that the rebellion is growing. They're getting stronger. They're getting bigger. Hera is a big part of that. Again, a great premiere episode. Can't wait to check out next week's episode.